Seeing animation all around in the field of education, in learning rhymes, in watching stories, and making computer and science projects. So, to think, design, and animate, join with Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School for a webinar on Become an Animator. छोटी शी सहल animationच्या दुनियेत. For bringing 3D characters into motion by our speaker Ashish Rathi. For bringing up this unique concept of innovation, our chairman Shri Subhashji Parmar has inspired and guided us. So let's enter into this animative techno world and begin with our today's webinar.
Good morning to everyone. On behalf of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, I welcome you all for another interesting and creative webinar, Become an Animator, Choti Shi Sahal Animation Cha Duniya. Animation educates audience through entertainment. Nowadays, we can see its huge impact in various fields like marketing, advertising, cinemas, and business. Animation is the modern way to express ideas, concepts, and thoughts. So, to introduce you to this world of magic, here is the webinar Become an Animator, Choti Shi Sahal Animation Cha Duniya, with our expert, Mr. Ashish Rathi sir. With the inspiration, guidance, and support of our management and our chairman, Subhashji Parmar sir, our students, parents, and teachers learn something interesting, informative, and innovative through this series of Sunday webinars. I request our principal ma'am, Manasi madam, to brief us about the school activities. Over to you, Manasi madam.
Thank you, Dipajyoti. A very happy morning to everyone. I welcome you all to yet another and exciting creative webinar. Become an animator. Choti Si Sahal Animation Cha Duniya by our school. Today, it really gives me a great honor to have a very eminent and renowned personality, Mr. Ashish Rathi, Director of Arena Animation and Chiranjeevi Animation Studio, with us for our webinar. In today's world, use of technology has become an integral part of our life. We at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh Schools upgraded ourselves both from creating digital infrastructures for our students as well as by training our teachers on usage of new age tools. We have well-equipped and well-operational computer labs and an unique language lab. To enhance the teaching learning process, we have a digital board in each classroom. We are also conducting webinars on various topics to keep our students engaged in the most effective and interesting way. All the innovative practices and pedagogical methods used in our school are the outcome of constant support and encouragement by our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar sir. It's his novel idea and motivation which kindles us to do better and to do to adopt new technology. We believe that when it comes to shaping the minds of next generation, getting a good education is crucial. We create classroom learning materials that are both engaging and informative. We consider that the importance of animation in teaching learning process cannot be overlooked. Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School has been one of the pioneers to equip students with the use of technology in most innovative way. We teach our students 2D animation using Flash as a tool. We also train them to use Scratch block programming language to create 2D animation movies and games. We have been conducting inter-school CompuSkill championship from last 9 years with an objective of encouraging students' creativity and provide a platform for the novel projects. And so today, we are going to take you to a journey in the world of animation through this webinar. I'm sure it will prepare you to take the first step towards animation and learn the art of movement. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to welcome and introduce our today's expert, Mr. Ashish Rathi, sir. Sir is director at Chiranjeev Animation Private Limited for last 5 years. It is an animation and VFX studio. Sir is also working as a director of Arena Animation Studio, which is an oldest and ISO certified training academy in Pune since 1997. Over 10,000 students have completed their certification and 70% of them have got placement in the studios like Red Chillies Entertainment, Motion Pictures, Yash Raj Studio, Amazon, and so on. Sir has completed his Bachelor's of Computer Science from Ferguson College and completed his Master's of Business Administration from International Institute of Information Technology. Sir's burning desire is to make an animated web series or comic strip based on sports personality. Sir's key to success is to play sports as it teaches one to play with the weakest and the strongest member of the team towards achieving a common goal. Thank you, sir, for being present this morning. I request you to give your opinion about today's topic, Become an Animator, Chotishi Sahal, Animation Cha Duniyet. Before that, we will see just a small video.
Arena Tilak Road.
Arena Animation Tilak Road.
Arena Animation Tilak Road.
Arena Animation Tilak Road.
Over to you, Ashish sir.
Thank you so much. So, like you have all seen, the journey of Arena Animation has been for last 24 years. And we started this with a vision of creating employment. This was a vision of our director, Dr. Sunanda Rathi. Now, animate your imagination is a statement that we use very often. Whatever one can imagine, now it's possible to create. Well, not literally, but on screen. Animation makes it all possible. It's a world that offers students countless opportunities to realize their dream. They can create and build characters, cartoons, and other inanimate objects from scratch. Not that all. Students can create unlimited number of things, ranging from humans to robots, to extinct animals like dragons, as well as creatures from stories and fables like fairies and monsters. The demand for excellent animated content and animators is constantly on rise. With top animation studios like Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks, Motion Pictures, Red Chillies Entertainment, Yashra Studios are continuously looking out for quality content and in massive scale. The animation industry is scouting and is looking for fresh and dynamic talent to cater to the ever increasing demand. Here at Arena Animation, we run comprehensive career-oriented program which can be done along with your graduation. I'm looking forward for more questions during this session and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. After watching this video and listening to you, I'm sure that all of us are going to learn something interesting today. We all are eager to know something more about this world of animation. So, to fulfill our thirst of knowledge, I request Jyoti ma'am to start with the question answer session. Over to you, Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you, Deepjyoti ma'am. A warm welcome, a very good morning to all of you, those who are connected Facebook Live with us for this exciting webinar of 3D animation. Myself, Mrs. Jyoti Sitapure from Acharya Shri Vijayavallabh School. Happy morning, Ashish sir. After listening to you and seeing the videos, our viewers have realized that the Pandora's box of 3D animation is just opened. We all are eager to find more and more treasure in the Pandora's box. So let's begin with our session of question answers, which will lead us to the small journey. Here is the first question coming from our parent, Mrs. Premlata Chaudhary. Let us see what is her question. Over to you, Premlata ji ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Premlata Chaudhary. My daughter Mahi Chaudhary is studying in junior KG class. Sir, I would like to know what basic knowledge is required before learning animation.
धन्यवाद प्रेमलता जी. इनका प्रश्न बहुत ही सरल है कि 3D एनिमेशन सीखने के लिए हमारे बच्चों को किन बातों का ज्ञान होना जरूरी है. So, over to you, Mr. Ashish sir.
Thank you so much for this question. So, and a lot of parents ask me this question. So before reaching to that, let me tell you that animation is just one part of this entire process of creating content. Today, the media and entertainment industry is divided into various industries. Basically, everything revolves around communicating. It is passing information from point A to point B. There are different methods of communication like print, audio, and visual. We have been communicating with our kids since childhood using the print technology. Like A for apple, B for bat is explained using visuals. As we grow old, there are different technologies that get introduced. And audio and visual is one of the most commonly used technologies in these days. So under the visual content, we use animation to communicate information. So basically, what one needs to have before using or getting into technology is having passion, creativity, and urge to keep on learning these new technologies because these keeps on changing every year. So if you find your child in any which way creative or coming up and telling you different stories, do not stop there. Give them more and more opportunities and tell them to document those stories so that when they get to an age where they can convert these stories into visuals, they can definitely get back to their childhood but make the most of these technologies. So I feel the most important thing that anybody who needs to have to start with animation is creativity and passion to explore that.
Thank you, Ashish sir. for adding to our knowledge regarding the basic requirements. So the main things are creativity, passion, and learning new technology because it is changing again and again. मला असे सांगावेसे वाटत आहे की आजचे पालक किती जागरूक आहेत. प्रेमलताजी यांचे मूल आता बालवाडीतच शिकत आहे. त्यांच्याप्रमाणे बऱ्याच पालकांच्या मनात हा प्रश्न असेल. So dear parents, make sure that you identify these qualities in your child and motivate your child for the further journey. Now, Ashish sir, I as a teacher and playing a major role in the life of a student want to take this journey further by asking another question. As natural, a teacher will always have questions related to the school work. So this is our next question. How can 3D animation help students to make their school projects? Though I am aware about few of the software used for animation, will you suggest some software which are freely available to us? म्हणजे मला काय म्हणायचंय, आजकाल शाळेत मुलांना जे प्रोजेक्ट दिले जातात ते करण्यासाठी 3D animationचा उपयोग कसा होऊ शकतो आणि त्यासाठी कुठले खास सॉफ्टवेअर उपयोगी पडू शकते का आणि मुख्य म्हणजे ते आपल्याला फ्रीली मिळू शकते का? So over to you, Ashish sir.
Thank you so much. So, well, if a student is creatively strong and wants to express something visually using technology, there are a lot of options available now. These tools definitely help him or her to present their work in a much better way. The software is meant to help us present a concept in a much effective way. Definitely, y'all can do that. Let me show you a video which will definitely answer this question in a much better way, like how a school project or any topic can be presented visually using techniques of 3D animation. Can I have the video, please?
Earth receives high-energy, short-wavelength radiation from the sun. A small portion of this electromagnetic radiation is reflected back into space. Most of it, however, passes through the atmosphere and thus reaches the Earth's surface. On reaching the surface of the Earth, some of the sunlight is reflected back, while the rest is absorbed at the surface. Therefore, the Earth warms up and radiates heat back into the atmosphere. This low-energy thermal radiation consists of long wavelengths and heats the air. Greenhouse gases trap the radiated heat from the Earth's surface, so the sunlight is first absorbed and then re-radiated. This process is similar to the processes that take place in a greenhouse, in which the glass surface serves the same function as the greenhouse gases. Once sunlight passes through the glass, it is absorbed by the ground and is radiated back in the form of heat. This heat is trapped in the glass house, which causes a significant increase in temperature. If there were no natural greenhouse effect on the Earth, the average temperature would be 35 degrees centigrade lower than it is at present. The majority of the gases responsible for the greenhouse effect, such as water vapors, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, are naturally found in the atmosphere. Over the past 100 years, however, a number of gases have either appeared in the atmosphere that normally would not be found in the atmosphere naturally, or the percentage of these gases has increased. All these enhance the greenhouse effect, which causes more heat to be trapped in the atmosphere. The combustion of oil, gas, and coal generates large amounts of carbon dioxide. Power plants, industry, and transport are also responsible for carbon dioxide generation. Deforestation is also an important factor in the rise of carbon dioxide concentration, because vegetation absorbs carbon dioxide. The non-natural gases are generated mostly during industrial activities in the form of solvents, foaming agents, degreasers, or insulating materials. Methane is produced as a result of decay processes associated with agricultural activities, such as rice cultivation and animal husbandry. Waste treatment and wastewater treatment are also responsible for methane production. Nitrous oxide is formed when nitrogenous substances, such as fertilizers, are decomposed. Some researchers contest the idea that the current climate change and global warming are strongly related to the significant increase in the concentrations of greenhouse gases. In their view, this is a natural process. As a result of climate change and global warming, the polar ice sheets have started to melt, which has caused a rise in sea levels.
We can pause.
This has posed a threat to many coastal towns. The number of storms and hurricanes is increasing. The weather is becoming unpredictable. Desertification has become common. Forest fires are more frequent, and many species of animals have become endangered.
So, like you could see in this video, a complete concept has been explained using the concepts of 3D animation. But I would like to give more information about this video. This video just did not have 3D animation, but a whole lot of process went in the making. First was the concept about this particular topic. An entire concept is written where you need to make sure what you need to tell the audience. We have written out, and it is called script writing. After the script is written, a team of storyboard artists creates the entire storyboard, which is the flow of the presentation. In programming language, we call it a flow chart. For websites, we call it a wireframe. For builders and architects, we have the AutoCAD files. So similarly, in animation or any filmmaking, we call it as storyboarding. So once a storyboard is created, we convert those storyboards into small 3D models, and those 3D models are then used to create animation. So this entire process is called as creation of a particular concept is called 3D animation. So I hope, ma'am, I answered your question. How school projects can be, how this industry can be helpful for school projects. Now you can imagine any of your projects and try to visualize how a tool can help it convert it in a better way to present.
Thank you, Ashish sir. This is really very good and it is very interesting. And that means we should have the script, storyboard, the modeling. So it is a complete process. And this is really a good news for our students who want to learn and create animation of their choice. A software called Blender, what you were saying, that is freely available. So the art of movement is truly getting more advanced and cheaper. जे विद्यार्थी आता फेसबुक लाईव्ह आमच्या बरोबर आहेत त्यांनी या सॉफ्टवेअरची नोंद करून घेतली असेलच. तो चलिए, हमारा सफर तो अब शुरू ही हुआ है. आगे का जो हमारा प्रश्न है वो हमारे प्राइमरी स्कूल के पेरेंट मिस्टर अशोक जैन पूछना चाहते हैं. सो ओवर टू यू अशोक जैन.
गुड मॉर्निंग, मैं अशोक जैन, मेरी बेटी ऋषि जैन 4वीं कक्षा में पढ़ रही है. सर, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि बच्चे 3D एनिमेशन कब से शुरू कर सकते हैं?
धन्यवाद अशोक जी. बरोबर आहे, आम्हाला सर्वांनाच हे जाणून घ्यायचं आहे की एखाद्या विद्यार्थ्याने 3D एनिमेशन शिकण्यास केव्हा सुरुवात करावी. सो ओवर टू यू आशिष सर, प्लीज गाइड अस.
So 3D animation is like any other topic. Basically, students can start learning that at any age. And like I said, it's a process. It's a process that one needs to adapt over a period of time. Last month, we did an online workshop for students of age category 5th standard to 9th standard. We had almost had 160 participants and most of them did amazing. As I understand, the current students of your school are already learning 2D animation. So basically, aware of technology and visual creation. Only thing changes now is a software which students will adapt more easily because they understand the concepts of animation. They are learning more complex things like trigonometries and chemical equations in their syllabus already. So learning 3D animation will not be a challenge, and I think they can start at the age of 5th or 6th standard. But before that, if any student is interested to get exposed to this industry, I would suggest them to start with concepts of graphics, storyboarding, and script writing. So it is the pre-production stage of the animation industry. So it will only help them explore their creativity. And once they come to an age of understanding the technology, they can start using their own imagination and convert them into amazing, breathtaking videos.
Thank you, Ashish sir. This is a very good news for our students who want to dive into the ocean of 3D animation. I really appreciate your view that a child should learn this by starting it as a hobby and normally after the 6th standard. Till then, the child can learn the basic things which normally all students do. Otherwise, today's children, they learn anything very faster. We all are aware about it. So, dear students, make a note of this and start dreaming of becoming an animator. We believe that the characters created by you may rock the world like the Marvel characters of Stan Lee. Who knows? I'm sure that all connected with us are waiting for the next input from Ashish sir. So let me tell you, sir, that our enthusiastic principal ma'am, Mrs. Mansi Marulkar ma'am, have a request for you. So over to you, Mansi ma'am.
Yes, sir, my request to you is, can you show us the demo for how to make 3D characters?
Sure, ma'am. So, with us, we have our technical staff, Miss Kajal. She is a faculty and also an amazing 3D animator herself. She's been in this industry for last 5 years, and she's been training students for a long time. And she was one of the faculties who conducted this online workshop for students of age category 5th standard to 10th standard. So I will ask my faculty member Kajal to share her screen and explain and show a basic model quickly so that people understand how it is done. Over to you, Kajal.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll just share my screen. Okay, so this is the software which we are talking about. This is the Blender, and this is the basically open source software. So anyone, anywhere can use it. Okay, and this is so easy. Okay, so let's just start with that. Okay, so this is the basic UI of the Blender. Now we are not going to talk about the tools and the techniques in that, but we'll just see a output. Okay, so let's just start. So I have just a cube over here. Okay, I'm just trying to just create some kind of a simple house model. Okay, then let's just start. Okay, so I'm just trying to creating a ground. Okay, with this cube. Okay, and I'm just going to use it those tools, which is basically scale and translate and rotate. Okay, so I have this ground and I'm going to build a simple house on that. Okay, so let's just take another object. Okay, so I'm just going to add one cube over here. Right, and I'm just going to scale it little bit. Okay, maybe this scale is enough for now. Okay, so we have just created one block for the basic house. Okay, and I'll just maybe try to create one roof over it. So let's just say another object, which is, so I'm just going to create a duplicate of it. I'm just going to manipulate this cube as a roof. Okay, so let's just select this face over here. Now there are some components with the individual objects, which is basically called as the vertices, edges, and faces. Okay, which basically helps us to manipulate the object. Okay, manipulate the basic object. Okay, so like this. Okay, then let's just go into again in the object mode. There are some modes. Okay, so you can use it with your requirement. So we have very nice block for the house right now. Okay, I'll just maybe add one or two windows and the door over here, so it will look like basic house. So let's just select the object over here, and I'm just going to edit mode. Like I said, there are some components with this individual object. Okay, so I'm just going to select those components. So which is one of the component is basically face. Okay, I'm just going to select that. I'm just going to use it for the creating the windows and the doors for this house. So I have just selected the one face over here, and I'm just going to create an inset face over here. This is the one of the tool. Okay, but you can see that now it is building your house over here. Okay, so I'm just going to scale it a little bit, like a door in the door proportion. Okay, we can go in very detailed models like bricks and all, but this is some kind of a basic one. Then maybe just extrude, give some depth to that door over here. Okay, and then we have this nice door over here. Let's just have some windows to the left and right side. Okay, so I'm just doing that same process with those left and right faces. So I'm just going to select this face over here, and again inset faces. This is so simple, you find out. And let's just have this small window over here. Okay, then we have another window over here. So I'm just going to scale it a little bit, and again extrude it. So we have this nice block for the house right now. Let's just create some kind of a basic tree right over here. So I'm just going to select both of them, and I'm just going to scale it a little bit like this. So I can have the place for the tree over here. So I'm just going to create a tree. Okay, so let's just now basic tree. Okay, like you see in the game set. Okay, so I'm just going to create one cylinder over here. There are some objects. Okay, basic objects you can directly click and use. Okay, but those are basic. Okay, you have to create an object with that. Okay, let's check that, and let's just give some height to that tree over here, right? I'm just going to scale it a little bit more in the height, and I'm just using keyboard as well as while doing that. I'll show you that shortcuts and all are the different part. Okay, now we have a tree trunk, basic tree trunk. Now let's just add some leaves on it with the basic shapes. Okay, so we have this cone over here, which will basically represent the Christmas tree kind of a tree. We'll just try to create over here. Just scale it a little bit. Then I'm just pressing Shift D on the keyboard to make it duplicate. And I'll just press it somewhere over here. Again Shift D and another duplicate. I'm just going to scale it a little bit like that. Okay, so we have this nice, but you can see that this model is not having a color on it, so we can add a color on it. So let's just add the color. Okay, so I'm just going to scale the little bit the ground over here. Okay, and let's just add some color to the object. Okay, because without color it will not look good. Okay, so I'm just going to add some colors on it. Okay, and this is the house which we have created. Okay, that cube. So I'm just going to select that and just going to assign a new material from over here. Now in that you can say software, color is called as a material basically. Okay, if you wanted to give a color to that object, you have to take a material, a new material for every object. Okay, new color, new material. So I'm just going to use the material window over here. That's basically material. And I'm just going to click on this plus sign because I wanted to add a new material. So I'm just going to click on that, and you can just say new material, and you will see that we have options like colors and all of these options, right? So I'm just going to click on this, and you can just change a color of the object. So now I just want a kind of a yellow tinted walls to that house. So I think this is good, but I want another color to the windows and the door. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, in edit mode, just select this, okay, the windows and the door. So I'm just going to add another, like I said before, new material, sorry, new color, so new material. Okay, so I'm just going to add another material for the new color. Okay, so we have new material over here. I'm just going to click on this new, okay, and I'm just going to change the color. Let's just have some kind of a brown, darker brown color to that doors and all. You can add a textures also, but that will take time to process. But this is basic color we can apply, right? And then we are done with this house. Let's just add another color to that roof. So I'm just going to add one single color to that roof as well. Okay, so let's just have some kind of like kind of a blue tinted. You can select, you can choice, you can take a references and create. Okay, that there are whatever you want you can create in with this software. Okay, so I have this nice house over here. Let's just have color for the ground. So maybe I'll apply a color green to the ground. Okay, so like this. Like, a little saturated color. Okay, and we'll have this tree as well as green color also. So I'm just going to create another material. I'm just going to assign a color to that. Okay, so now we have material 5 over here. I'm just going to select this, and over here I'm just going to select material 5. So it will assign that same material to that object. I'm just going to assign the another material to that. So let's just have another material over here, and maybe like this. So I think we have this, and if I wanted to create a more trees, so you don't need to again remodel it. So we can directly select those object, okay, and shift D. So we'll get new tree with that, and you can scale it a little bit, okay, right over here, and you can keep right over here. If I want more trees around that house, okay, so you can check that, right? If I want some kind of road or street or in the front of the door, okay, so I'm just going to assign that. I'm going to assign that also. So I'm just going to add some new edges. Okay, this is now more in detail. So I'm just going to create some edges over here, right? This, okay, another one, right? This, okay. I'm just going to select that object into edit mode, right? I'm just going to select the faces, and this one is the basically last part which will create some kind of a road, so it will look like nice. So maybe we have this, and we'll just assign another color to that face over here. So I'm just going to select that, and for color, as we know, we have to take another uh, complete material over there. So I'm just going to assign a gray, darker gray to that. And you can see that now we have very nice basic object over here. Okay, now it is basically preview. Okay, you can render it out also. So what I'm going to do is because if I wanted to share this image with anyone, okay, with like a school, okay, for project presentation, so I can show that. Okay, for that we have to render it, because you can see that there are no shadows and there is no basically highlights over here, so we have to render it. Render is the process which is basically creates this 3D model as a JPG. like pixel image, like we use JPG images, right? So I'm just going to render it out. Okay, and we have two viewports now, so I'm just going to change the my viewport mode over here. For now it is solid. I just wanted to use a render one, and you will see that we have this nice rendered uh, image over here. Okay, now we can do some lightings and some of the more techniques over here. You can add light, you can create a sun, you can create many more objects, okay, which you see in real life. Okay, so let's just add another light. So it's in this software, the light is basically a lamp. So I'm just going to create a sun over here, and we have nice render on it. You can check that. There is an outliner if you wanted to some delete some objects or remove or group some objects. Okay, but we need that object, so right now I'm just going to select it. So I think this is it. This is the simple model we have created. We can apply a texture. Now we have applied some color on it, like flat color. We can apply a texture also. Because like texture in the sense, let's just say we want wood texture on it, wood pattern texture on it. So we can apply that also. But for now, this is it. Okay. So I think Ashish sir, it is.
Thank you, Kajal. Thank you very much. And Mansi ma'am, your comments on it?
Yes, wow, it's very amazing and explain it in a very simple way that I also understood. Thank you for this wonderful demo, Kajal and Ashish sir. It will be wonderful opportunity for our students, Ashish sir, to visit Arena Animation Studio. Can we do that post-pandemic?
Definitely, ma'am. We would be happy to welcome you all with your students and faculties to
Yes, we are very
explore
grateful
this
for that.
physical way.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashish sir, for allowing us to come to your arena. And thank you, Kajal, very much for this beautiful video. It was like very highly technical, and we really got to know that it is so difficult. No wonder why we all enjoy the animation movies so much. In the past, before the softwares were available, I think were not available, I think artists used to draw this manually, and naturally it would have been a very difficult task. So we actually never knew the pains behind our favorite animation characters coming alive on the screen. The storyline, the detailing, blending, having the light and shadow effects can take many hours and months. Some of the projects, I believe, have taken years. Even making educational animation 3D models is a lot of hard work. चलिए तो आगे बढ़ते हैं हमारे अगले प्रश्न की तरफ, जो कि हमारे स्कूल का 10वीं कक्षा का विद्यार्थी पूछना चाहता है, जिसका नाम है सिद्धेश वानी. So over to you, Siddhesh, for our next question.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, Siddesh, go ahead.
Good morning to one and all. I Siddesh Wani studying in 10th standard. Sir, I have hobby of character designing. So I'm curious to know that as a student, can I learn animation while pursuing regular education? What I have to do if I want to choose it as a career?
खरोखर सिद्धेश, आपल्या वेबिनारला उपस्थित असलेल्या बऱ्याच विद्यार्थ्यांच्या मनात हा प्रश्न असेल की माझे शिक्षण चालू असताना मी 3D एनिमेशन शिकू शकतो का, आणि जर मला हे क्षेत्र करिअर म्हणून निवडायचं असेल तर मला काय करावं लागेल. सो ओव्हर टू यू आशिष सर.
Good question, Siddesh. Let me answer your first question, whether you can learn this while pursuing your regular education. Yes, definitely you can do it along with your regular education. In fact, I feel students should do this simultaneously as a value-added program. It is like every chartered accountant is pursuing a bachelor's of commerce degree, but not every bachelor's of commerce is pursuing chartered accountancy. So that is why a person who is pursuing something along with the graduation stands out differently. You are a long way from making a decision about your career, but what you must understand is your passion, what you like, and then understand whether these technologies that you are trying to learn are helping you achieve your goal or your passion. If you can do that, then you won't have any challenges in choosing your career. So for example, like many of us play online games. Try and find out. You would be playing an online game. You would be having your favorite games like PUBG, FIFA, cricket. Just try and understand what you like about the game. Do you like the concept? Do you like the design? Do you like the special effect in the game? Or do you like the gameplay? If you understand what you are liking while playing the game, and you make it a point that this is something that I would be interested to make, definitely then it will help you to choose your career. And if you have observed what I showed right now in a video of the green field, and then what Kajal ma'am showed as a demo, the same house can be applied there with different materials, with change of textures. Here she used solid colors. There you can use transparent colors. So the application of software is completely depending on your concept. First in mind, you should have a concept, and then the application of the software can happen. So definitely you can choose your career. And I have got a lot of students who have taken this as a career from standard 11th. And before that, we recommend it as a hobby. I hope that answers your question, Siddharth. Siddesh.
Sir, if you won't mind, can you show us any example of it, like what you told me just now?
Siddesh, sure. I would like to show you a video. One of my technical team, I will ask them to play a video. It will help you understand a making of a particular scene, which can be replicated in an advertisement, in a movie, or in a game. So let's see this quick video, which will help you understand that. It's a simple car animation, but there are different techniques used to convert this into a short film.
When you say less, I feel crazy.
So Siddesh, you can understand the application. Now just imagine all the advertisements that you are seeing about four-wheelers, about Harley Davidsons, about Pulsar. That all can be converted using technologies like 3D animation. And if you observe one thing, animation was the last in the pipeline. There was a lot before we reached the animation stage. You were seeing step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Fifth step was where the animation came in. So there were so many different parameters that goes in making a small animated advertisement. So this is one example, Siddesh, and I can give you a million examples if you come down to my institute.
Thank you, sir. It was a very amazing experience for me.
And I hope you understood the difference between an animated ad and a real ad now. Now, any ad that you see, you will always think whether this is a real advertisement or an animated advertisement.
Thank you, Ashish sir. This is truly a very enlightening guidance. I'm sure that Siddeshwani and many students who are with us are clear about this exciting career. Everyone of us who are watching, we are feeling like Alice in the Wonderland. We have just entered into that and the wonders are opening. You truly are a super career counselor, sir. You gave really a profound knowledge. I know this is like before animation, many things are like before that. So don't get, don't feel very happy if down the line some Vijay Vallabh students come to the arena animation. So हमारे जो कोई दर्शक हमसे जुड़े हैं, उन्हें भी अब 3D एनिमेशन के बारे में काफी जानकारी मिल गई होगी। तो अब देर किस बात की, आप अपने पसंद का करियर बनाने के बारे में सोचें और उसके लिए प्रयास करें। हमारी शुभकामनाएं हमेशा आपके साथ है। Dear viewers, we still have left with a question from our eager and aware parents. Truly, shaping the future of a child is the teamwork of teachers, parents, and students. So our next question comes from our parent, Mrs. Rekha Mundada, who is always striving hard to encourage her child. So over to you, Rekha ji.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, all of you. I, Rekha Mundada. My son Omkar Mundada is studying in 9th standard. Sir, I have a query. Will you please tell us what challenges students have to face while 3D animation?
Thank you, Rekha ji. तर रेखा जी यांना असं जाणून घ्यायचं आहे की 3D एनिमेशन शिकताना मुलांना कोणत्या आव्हानांचा सामना करावा लागेल. So over to you, Ashish sir.
Good question, Rekha ma'am. So basically student face one basic challenge, and it is not only with 3D animation. It goes with anything that a child does, and it is about consistency and giving enough time to what they are trying to learn. Once we can do that, then nothing will be difficult. Let's take an example of taking up a sport, let's say cricket. How many of you attending this session love to play cricket as a child, as growing up, as an adult? I'm sure including the parents, all the students, most of us loved cricket. And I'm confident few of them were even good at it. I myself was a good cricketer, but none of us, or very few, went on to represent a city, a club, or a country, or for that matter, an IPL team. The reason being, it's not that we didn't know to play cricket. It's because we did not give enough time for it. Time in terms of just not playing cricket as a game, but cricket as a game requires a lot of other things. It's like fitness, it's diet, it's focus, it's meditation. It's a whole like a process. Same thing goes with animation. Students forget that animation is not about only using a technology. Most of the students that come to our institute, the basic challenge that they face is they just learn the software and they ignore the other parameters that goes around making them a good animator. For that, what I call that is taking part in different competitions, attending various workshops and seminars, reading blogs or information which helps them understand what is new, what is trending, checking out on different works that has been done by their colleagues or for that matter, the master classes, attending guest lectures. So these are the 6-7 parameters that goes along with your tool that you will learn to make you a great animator. So give enough time to even your own school subjects. You know, school subjects also has a lot of topics. What we end up doing is just learning what's there in the textbooks, and we ignore what more can be added to it. So if you give time in preparing, the exams become easy. So my basic advice to everybody who feel that this is challenging is believe in the process and you will get the results that you would wish to. I hope that I answered the question.
Thank you, Ashish sir, for telling us about the basic challenges, mainly which according to you is giving enough time for the process to learn. सचमुच माता पिता अपने बच्चों को आने वाली मुश्किलें कैसे कम हो, हमेशा इसका ही प्रयास करते रहते हैं. It is very true that we cannot have heroes without challenges. Challenges are important to take students to the height of their abilities. मला इथे सांगावंसं वाटतंय की आमच्या शाळेमध्ये जे अनेक उपक्रम चालवले जातात त्यातून मुलांचा सर्वांगीण विकास कसा होईल या गोष्टीकडे आमचे नुसते शिक्षकच नाही तर आमच्या शाळेचे विश्वस्त मंडळी देखील फार अग्रेसर असतात. यामध्ये आमचे चेअरमन मिस्टर सुभाषजी परमार आम्हाला नेहमी प्रोत्साहित करत असतात आणि आमचा उत्साह वाढवतात. तर दीपज्योती अत्रे मॅम यांनी याबद्दल थोडी माहिती द्यावी. सो ओव्हर टू यू दीपज्योती मॅम.
Ma'am, we all are aware that education system has important role to play in shaping perception of the student who would lead the world in various capacities tomorrow. After listening to Ashish sir, I noticed that even education system has a lot of impact of animation. If we'll take example of our school, in Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, impact of animation is seen since pre-KG class. Those students are learning any rhymes or they are listening to the stories. In primary section, it is helpful when they are learning mathematical concepts or any poem. Use of 3D animation is effective while teaching functioning of organs or any physics law in secondary section. Once students' concepts are clear, they will be able to participate in various activities, quizzes, and competition. Also, our school organizes Inter-School CompuSkill Championship. This is the competition where student participates and create various games and stories using Scratch as a tool. Today's session will be definitely effective, efficient, and productive, which will have long-lasting effect. And we never know. Anyone from the viewer is getting ready to fly in the world of animation. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepjyoti ma'am. Truly, we are really lucky ones to be connected to this prestigious school. आप सभी को ये जानकर खुशी होगी कि हमारे कई शिक्षक गणों के बच्चे इसी विद्यालय से शिक्षा ले चुके हैं और कईयों के अभी ले रहे हैं. So dear viewers, Mr. Ashish Rathi sir has taken us on a wonderful trip to the world of 3D animation. He just gave us so many inputs about the basic knowledge and qualities to enter this wide field of 3D animation, the field of virtual reality, gaming, modeling, and much more. Our viewers will like to know that some of the alumina of the Arena animation are a part of the famous latest Marvel movies. Yes, you got right. Avengers: The Endgame, and another very much watched series all over the world, and that is Game of Thrones. Dear viewers, I'm sure that today's webinar have given you an option for an exciting career for your children. I want to conclude today's webinar with an ancient Indian Mahavakya from the Upanishads, and that is Aham Brahmasmi. One of the meaning of this is that I am the part of the universe, its creation and the creator. I have the power to create. Rightly, in the same way, the 3D animation gives us a chance to dream, believe, and create our creation in the form that we desire. Thank you, Ashish sir, for being our guest. We really felt that we should go more ahead. Now, I hand over to Deepjyoti Atre ma'am for the vote of thanks. Over to you, Deepjyoti ma'am.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. On behalf of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, I take this opportunity to thank our today's expert, Mr. Ashish Rathi sir and Kajal ma'am. Thank you, sir and ma'am, for being present today morning. We are thankful for you for taking us on the ride of this magical world of animation. I would also thank our chairman, Shri Subhashi Parmar sir, for his motivation and guidance. Sincere thank you to all our trust members, committee members, principal, teachers, and our parents, without whom our program cannot be successful. I extend my heartfelt thank you to our technical team for their support. I also express my gratitude to our viewers who always gives us spirit to keep going. Thank you. Thank you all the viewers for watching this webinar. We look forward seeing you next Sunday for yet another interesting webinar.